Hello everyone, it's Dr. Kam Yuen. I read recently in the news about this tragedy that happened to children from poisonous gas that they died from pesticides and water mixed with the pesticides to create the toxic gas. And of course, it's such a tragedy that we definitely want to ensure that parents will safeguard their children's welfare. And so that happened recently in Amarillo, Texas. So look, there's at least 5 other people were hospitalized in this incident. And having that happen, it's really the people that happen with this event, or people affected by this event, is actually there's cause and effect. Let's say these children who died from it, now it is their weakness, or the weakness that indicated come from the parents, particularly the mother. So it's really the mother's karma at that. So the weakness indicate is really coming from the children's mother's karma, or poisoning other people. And since it has not been resolved in this karmic story here, that this happened, let's say, 500 years ago, and have not been resolved in a dozen lifetimes, so it would just attract the event for the descendants of this woman, or the mother of these children. So those experience or karmic experience, once the weakness indicated that's what it is, you want to strengthen to lead the cumulative effect that gonna have on the children. So that's how you're gonna resolve karma. Of course, if you want to know more in depth how to resolve karma, we will discuss more about it as we go. So this situation in Istanbul, particularly this young girl that just graduated from high school, went there and she was killed in that flying incident that been attacked by someone just start shooting the people in a nightclub, and she was one of them that got killed there, and she's from Israel, and it is not because she's from Israel that the shooter targeted her. So there's a karma incident that happens too for her, and the weakness indicates coming from the father. In this particular case, is the father shooting others. So even in a time of war, if you shoot your enemy, that's a karma. So the father have karma shooting their enemy, and not just one person. So once you identify that, you could state how many reasons that's associated with the karma. So it's really 1,000 reasons affecting this person 1,000,000 times, and that has to be resolved. So, and not only this young girl's father who have karma, but actually a father's ancestor has karma of go to war and have to shoot their enemy. And that's how things get so violent. The induce is cause and effect. It's really no random act of violence with no reason and cause and effect. So let's say the shooter and definitely there's a Muslim influencer in the and that influence came from the karma of people killing them. If you are Muslim in the past, there were experience of them being killed by outsiders or by another religion. So religion against religion karma. So let's see if we could lighten that up so that we have less violence between the Muslims and those who are not Muslim or considered to be another faith or another religion. So let's ensure that we will just strengthen all the religious karma, one religion with another, and just between Christian and Judaism and Muslim, that triad, there's definitely there's no strength in that triad, no stability, no balance, or being centered. So we have to stabilize the internal dynamics and the boundaries so it was not implode on itself with any outside incidents or external dynamic that are incidents for these three religions interacting with each other. So the karma among these religions, and when you make it even, then it would be less unevenness that bring up the conflict and bring up the violence that are the cause and effect. So by removing the karma that the Muslim have received from the Christian during the Crusade, and that's still affecting the interaction or the relationship with Muslims and Christians, and not that much of the Jewish faith. So it is stronger between the Christians and the Muslims and the Christians. So we can make that more even again to ensure that all the karma that's actually would be infinite reasons there affecting the group, the religious group, infinitely to the 100 times infinite. So let's see if we could settle that down by monitoring it. And those of you are familiar with this approach or this technique or this method could pursue it and would maintain the integration, the stability, the balance and center and neutrality. There would be less unevenness. So these two religions could put up with each other. Of course, the Christian could put up with the Muslim better now, which at one time they couldn't do that, right? So now it seems reverse. It's a Muslim that couldn't put up with the Christians. So, well, we're not going to follow and give too much of a description of what went on in history. So, but there's definitely the unevenness in both religions in their interaction with each other. So when there's more of an evenness there, that it would be less of a conflict they have with each other. And looking at other news, so USC won the football game and they were losing and they finally pulled off, and that's our local team here. And I didn't watch the whole football game, but I'm just saying that when people who are injured, it's time to look at their injury in a more complete approach. So to deal with it on a conventionally using medication or surgery or therapy, the injured player would always have that injury. Even if they recover, they would have the weakness to attract the same injury again. Of course, the injury also could be the result of karma issues. Of course, I don't expect you to believe any of this, and because I don't believe it, if it comes up as a weakness, it's the story that had to be resolved, right? So for those injured themselves, it would be more karmically related, and it should be resolved from looking at the complete picture of what really brought about the injury. So you could see me doing a process or performing a process on injured players, and you will experience how it could be done. And once you experience more and more how things could be done, then you in the process actually activate your knowing how to do it. And I just direct you to be able to do that on a regular, consistent basis. So I would say the injury is karmically related, and I would say this person who injured on the field, I really didn't get the name of the player, but ankle injury. That ankle injury is repeat of the same spiritual experience this person, and it is not really a karma, but it's receiving somebody else's karma. So when somebody got injured and from an act of someone else, they're receiving a karma of that person that produced the injury for this person or this player. And you want to resolve the karma of the event that led to the injury, and you resolve the karma for the person or persons who commit the act of injuring this person. So we resolve that, and once you identify it, it resolves itself. So the injury would recover. Also, if you want to stop injury from taking place, you want to find those weaknesses, and you also want to find the weaknesses coming from other time and space. So that would be homeopathic remedy or energy remedy that I label called trauma. If you take a trauma remedy, then your chance of being traumatized that leads to injury would be totally stopped. And you could take a myism that also strengthen the past life experience or virtual reality experience of in this case would be injury. It could be illness, could be limitation. Limitation would be like being in prison or freedom taken away, or fears and phobias, and also a karma of karma. So if you encourage other people to commit the act of karma, and the leading one would be the karma of violence, or karma of traumatizing people, traumatizing a situation, or traumatize other living creatures. So it doesn't have to be always human. So there should be a clear experience with karma, and be able to perceive the weakness and know is karma related, or on the receiving end would be a spiritual experiences related. And once you identify that, it's easy. It's really easy to resolve it, but you have to identify it. You have to give it some slack and not question whether it's bogus or not. we're not here to give you some bogus approach to resolve anything and try to convince you that it's been resolved. It is more coming from a neutral place. There's no convincing for you to accept it or change your belief. So it's really finding the weakening cause or the leading weakening cause that it actually strengthens once you find the weakest reason or the weakest indicator that is the leading weakness. And once you identify leading weakness compared with other weaknesses, the weakness will strengthen itself and the situation or the injury would be improved. Okay, so try that and experience that. Right? Not try it, but if you experience it, it's not, if you experience it, it's better than try to understand it. Right? So you experience it, when the result is there for you to perceive it, and from that, it will fill in your understanding. Right? You don't want to have understanding or try to understand it first before you get better. You get better, and then you get all the different reasons why you got better. Then you have the experience of knowing, and it will fulfill your understanding. There will be no question about whether you understand or not. You already know it, right? So when you know the reason, and it doesn't have to be expressed verbally to you, your internal intelligence would capture, would be stimulated for that reason, or you could pinpoint a reason on your own why you got better. So that is the approach. So it's all about immediate results, and no sense of making a discussion about one way versus another way of doing things. So it not consists of any therapeutic sessions or doing healing or curing anything, or resort to doing surgery on the injured part of the body. So it's pretty much allowing your own central nervous system to make those changes for you. Hey, hello everybody. If you are listening to my podcast, they are now all on iTunes. So leave me a review so I could do better in meeting your wellness needs. Hey, hello everybody. Dr. Kam Yuen. In my teleclinic, I have many parents want me to strengthen their children so they do well in taking the SAT or just do well in school, right? So in order to do well taking a test, it really boils down to activating the physical intelligence, so you connect with the answers, connect with the information, and not always try to use the mind to process the question. So when the mind is used to process the question, you actually have unlimited choices to answer the question. Where if you use your physical intelligence, you only have two choices: either you get it right or you don't have it right. So you have 50 to 50 chance to get the right answer. So when you resort to the physical intelligence, things will flow so much better. You connect with the subject content, and you don't have to memorize it. When you use your mind to process, to learn anything, there's actually more confusion in learning. So when a student learns a subject, is when the mind kind of shut down that moment, and the student get to the point they finally realize that they finally got it, and it's really when their mind is turned off and their brain or the rest of the central nervous system takes over, and that process is a quicker process. So we're just not used to processing information this way. So the information already surrounds us, and we just have to strengthen the central nervous system to be the receiver in receiving the knowledge, and not try to figure out how to retain the knowledge. The knowledge is already there, so we just have to, or the knowledge is constantly transmitted into us, into our receiver. Our receiver would be the central nervous system. So that's how things could be learned so much quicker, and without struggling to memorize things. So the physical intelligence activate our innate intelligence, and it's really the confusion of the mind kind of reduce the innate intelligence, or the degree of your innate intelligence. So taking a test with your physical intelligence is a lot simpler to take the test than to use your mind to try to memorize what you may have recalled from the classes you have taken. That actually lead to more confusion and more difficult to actually perceive what is the right answer to the question that was given. So scoring well in the SAT doesn't guarantee success in school, or by going to a high-profile school or university does not guarantee success in the career. In fact, in many cases, it does not at all. So it's what the person accomplished with their physical intelligence that's going to determine their success. So with that said, just experience it for yourself and see if it works out for you. And your children should be strong in taking a test or being in school, and there should not be any weakness that they have to struggle with, or the fear of taking a test, or nervous about taking a test. They will have complete confidence when the physical intelligence is turned on, and not relying on the mental intelligence. Hey, hello everybody. If you are listening to my podcast, they are now all on iTunes. So leave me a review so I could do better in meeting your wellness needs. Hello again. I just want to speak about the safety of children. Once again, it's imperative that parents would be open to themselves to get into the process of knowing about the safety or safeguarding the safety of their children. And you want to know if there's any weakness of having spiritual experiences that's related to trauma, illness, limitations. Well, limitation, again, is related to being in prison or losing your freedom. And fears and phobias and karma, those are the leading spiritual experiences that your child may have experienced from previous life experiences. And that could also come from other family members, that the weakness would actually filter down or hand it down to the descendants or to the children. And it doesn't have to be directly from you as a parent. It could be coming from the ancestors and coming from other family members who has those spiritual experiences. And the karma is just the opposite. The karma is the experience of causing trauma to others and causing illness and limitations and so forth. So you've got to be able to find a weakness that indicate that's what it is, and you will process it with how many reasons that that's relating to the experience and how much it affects the child. Could be 100%, 1,000, or 1,000,000%. So the weakness will indicate what it is, and once you perceive the weakness, it would actually automatically strengthen itself, and it should come in the proper order. So you cannot just jump to a weakness that's not the next order or weakness. So the sequence has to be compared to which is the weakest, and the next weakness, and a weakness after that, so forth. And that's how easy it is to resolve it and keep your children safe. And you could actually could perceive a different effect of energy coming from your children or child. And you would have less concern and worry about their safety, because concern and worry about their safety, I mean, there's something there that can be affecting their safety. And once you resolve the karma as spiritual experiences, and of course, when the karma does not have any opportunity of ever being resolved, it becomes a curse. It's a little more intense than a karma, but that's all there is. So the difference between a karma and a curse, karma is less intense than a curse. The curse is just all the similar experiences of karma that have not been resolved for generations or for years, and it become a curse for the family. And once you could use the perception and your intuition and insight, knowing the weakness and what order of those weakness, it resolves on its own. So that would be resolved without you thinking about it or doing things about it. It would be automatic. So experience that and let that be your experience.